As part of the 70th anniversary celebrations of KNUST, Life School presents a special series with KNUST alumni to learn from their life experiences and share their special fun moments from Tech Campus. Join us to share our fun moments and learn from each other. Life School, sharing skills and lessons for life.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of the Life School series. I am your host Asanto Ajikume. Today I have with me here Osabarima and Sasa Srapete. Nana, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Asanto. And you're welcome to Mountfield.
Thank you very much. Can you please tell us about yourself, your personal life, how you came into RAIN, everything? We would want to know.
Yes, Osabarima Sasa Srapete, the chief of Mountfield, the Chilopini of the Kwapim, the traditional area, and a proud technocrat. So I'm the third born of 8 boys. 2 senior brothers and then 5 behind me are little boys. 2 have gone ahead to glory. Ironically, the most senior and then the most junior. So there are 6 of us left now. 5. 2 have gone. 3 of them have gone. Sorry. So we have 5 left now. I'm married with 2 kids, a girl and a boy. And 25 years ago, I had the onerous responsibility of becoming the chief servant of my people, the citizens of this town. When I was a very young man, at 32, I had just left KNUST that same year, and then I was installed as chief of Mountfield. It's been an exciting journey, turbulent, but very exciting and worthwhile. I would any day do the same thing. You couldn't have a better chance to serve your community. Once you serve it and you see the glee on the faces of the people you've made some intervention, with your team, my elders, you see the happiness on their faces. There's nothing compared to it. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. No amount of money, no amount of wealth is compared to seeing the happiness on the faces of people you've impacted positively.
25 years of leadership. Are there any distinct lessons that you have learned during your reign that you feel it will be better if we can incorporate them into our modern society from the traditional and cultural perspective?
Service, and a certain sense of integrity. Your leadership, traditional leadership, you want to bring integrity to it, and a certain sense of humility, will take you so very far. Fairness. You want to apply the rules across board equally. You're not making exemptions for anybody.
So Nana, 25 years of leadership, that's quite a long time. What are some of the notable achievements that you have been able to do within this time?
Yeah, thank you. We can speak of quite a number, but that would take too much time. Let me, so one of the highlights of my period is when, after almost 19 years of the Kwapim disintegration, when some 3 main divisions of the Kwapim Traditional Council area succeeded from the Paramount. And some of us came to meet it. They started in 1994, and I was installed in 97. And with some other colleagues, thought that we needed to do whatever is possible to bring the succeeded divisions back into the fold of the traditional council, traditional area. It wasn't easy, but with goodwill, going up and down, speaking to the chiefs, the divisional chiefs, engaging with them, support from government, then succeeding governments, the Christian community. In 2013, we signed the Koforidua Accord, where all the succeeded divisional chiefs came back together to pledge their support or allegiance to the paramountcy. It was a major thing for me. Of course, there have been other things. McGee's. When I became chief, it was a mixed school with a very small student population. The then headmistress, especially during the period of President Kufuor, when he introduced the girl child, there's a concentration on girl child education, that they're promoting it so much. The decision was taken to change McGee's into a girls' school so that we could attract some of the resources, the infrastructure that was going to the girl education. And we strategized, and with support, and this is what McGee's has become. Of course, the lands that the school was on were for parents, for families and things, and there was some encroachment, so we took a firm decision that we will not allow any encroachment on the lands, because if we did, the school will not have any space to expand. And one had to take some very unfortunate decisions that were not too well to the families, some of the families, but it was a decision that had to be taken for the general interests of the school and the community. And I must say that I'm very proud of what the school has become. Succeeding heads had just grown the school from one level to the other. When I became chief, we had this very thriving festival, the Asafusa, but it was just a small community, small. Over the period, we've had presidents coming to join us to celebrate Asafusa, paramount chiefs coming to join us, celebrate. Very big paramount chiefs, I must say, chiefs on the ridge. It's become like a meeting place that year in, year out, we have all manner of people from all walks of life coming to join. And for culture, we have this aspect of it already, that you would have people looking forward to it, months ahead, because the organizers, Mickey Darling, he's the main man in charge of it that we left to do, and he does such a good work. So it attracts people to come, all walks of life, very senior persons, they come and then we enjoy together, and many other things. Conservation of environment. We have this grove going towards Koforidua on the right. We just made sure that it's preserved as a grove. That we don't allow the trees to be felled in it. There's a time a suggestion that we should carve some out as building plots for the leaders, the traditional leadership, and some other chiefs stood vehemently, strongly against it, that we wouldn't allow anybody to enter that place to desecrate or bring the forest down. And because of that, you still have fog, in Manfin. Sometimes up till 8 a.m., the sun will not even have come. We believe it's because of the trees and how they impact the environment. So yes, we changed, even though yes, some customary practices are good, that we've sought to maintain them. We've also tried to look at those that are not serving their purposes in modern times and have changed some of them, bringing some sense of freedom to our citizens and the community. One thing that we did, when a person dies, the funeral is announced to the leadership, the traditional leadership, with 2 bottles of schnapps. At some point in time, we sat down and realized that a bag of cement is equal to a bag of schnapps, a bottle of schnapps. So we're like, how do we? Because the schnapps, when they come, we just pour them, and I don't drink schnapps. If you come and dash me something like we're coming to a Himfi, so let me bring, and you bring me schnapps. It's I don't drink. So we decided that instead of taking the 2 bottles of schnapps, as custom demands, we would have those persons come in and bring a bag of cement and a bottle of schnapps. So the cement could be undertaken, used for development in the community. And I must say, over the years, it's helped us. Giving some to the schools to undertake some, prepare the churches, the community development and stuff like that. And those are some of the modifications my leadership, my team, the elders and I have brought to bear on traditional governance.
Those are some very commendable achievements. Congratulations. What lessons have you learned from the traditional and cultural perspective with regards to our modern society now?
One should take a principled stand on issues, and if you are convinced about it, stick with it. Someone was just telling me that no man who lived an easy life will leave any good name when he's gone. So integrity, fairness, applying the rules fairly, to everybody, irrespective of who's involved, a certain selflessness, and looking at the interest of the other first before yourself. When we were kids, we had a large family. If you had the responsibility of sharing anything, we'll give it to you to share. You'll be the one who divided the whatever it is, will be the last person to take your portion. So, knowing that you're going to be the last person, you are going to ensure that you share it equally so that there's no. Of course, nowadays you don't tend to see that too much. People want to. It's about me, myself. You find traffic. There are all of us in traffic, and then some persons trying to go around, so that they can cut across you. These are things that there's the self more than the communal. You are
the general
because
good.
Yes, the general good. I am because you are, exactly. So that's it. And of course humility. You tend to attract when people know that you are accessible, open door, they come to you, you are humble, and they know it doesn't matter one's social class or once you have a certain interaction, you tend to attract some very high profile persons. And I can say that these things have taken me to places that I never dreamt I could be, very high places. In the traditional system, in politics, in public service, education, what have you. I could go to some of the very powerful states or kingdoms, and just walking because of one's interaction and humility in dealing with the superiors. both superiors and then those below. It just takes you anywhere.
There's this ongoing publicity and hype concerning the tree planting exercise that you are spearheading. Can you please tell us what is the motivation and inspiration behind the whole program?
I was highly excited when the executives of the KNUST Alumni Association, the technocrats, came to me to have this discussion on the tree planting that they want to undertake to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the KNUST. Yes, my excitement came out of the fact that that exercise would serve as bringing the community together, and also our role that will play to possibly impact climate change that we're having all around us. These floodings that are going on across the country, the rising sea levels that the coastal towns are suffering from, and all other things. Persons from all walks of life coming together to do something positive for Mother Nature and keeping our environment safe for everybody. So yes, it was an excitement, something that I would gladly be part of and want to undertake, yes, with the support of the technocrats. After the discussion with the executives, I took the initiative to consult with some of my colleagues, chiefs on the ridge, since the initiative is to become a Kwaprim ridge-wide exercise. So I spoke with the chief of Abutachi, Obosmase, Ebri, who have all readily agreed to participate in it. There are some other chiefs who are consulting with their elders to see that they could make land available for this. So yes, I'm looking forward to a very successful program, and we'll do our bit. What is exciting about this exercise, especially, is not just ordinary tree planting that we're going to do, but to create a certain form of tree library where medicinal purposes, trees with medicinal values, qualities, students will come and learn about things, and then people to come and relax in these environments. So it's even apart from getting the communities involved, it also serves as a source of income for the communities that will be engaged in it, because they cultivate the planting of these medicinal plants. I mean, will go a long way to get those who are participating in it some income, for themselves and their communities.
Thank you, Nana. Moving from your cultural and personal life, I would like to delve more into your life at KNUST. What are some of your fondest memories of your time on campus?
We were not nerds. Okay, so let me say, I wasn't your typical student. After sixth form, I went to work at the Bank for Housing, now defunct Bank for Housing and Construction, for about 4.5, 5 years. Then I was a young man, earning money, having a ball of a time. Could go from nightclub. I mean, every night. There's one time that the 7 nights of the week I was at Bam Tavern every day, having a good time. Then it hit me one day that my mates I was in sixth form with had gone to the university and had finished. And if any of them should come and gain employment at the bank, they're going to be my officers. I was going to call them sir. I said, I mean, it wasn't as if I was such a dumb student, so let me pack bag and baggage, then do whatever I needed to do to go to school. So yes, I did go to decide to go to Tech. I wanted to go and do land economy. I was offered social sciences, and I turned it down. I said I want to do land economy, so I went to do estate management, which is a diploma of land economy, with the mind that after the first year, I'll switch to go and do land economy. Unfortunately, that was the year that during the matriculation there was this route on campus which led to some students being rusticated a year, 2 years. So, like I was almost a mature student when I entered Tech. I was 26 years or so. Someone who had seen life, worked before coming. So I was, in the middle, but I still had fun because my mates that I entered first year with, when I was in the first year, they were in Form 1. Yes, Form 1. But I needed to bridge the gap, to be able to mingle with them, go with them. And then I also had the seniors who were my mates. So I was just climbing. I was all over the place, everywhere. There are some things that took place. I'm sure you want to ask that. But that also even became something else. But campus life on campus was good, was great. One enjoyed Queen's-Hall. After the campus route, the following year, the admissions to the school were reduced so much. I think land economy, they admitted 12 students that year, and obviously there was no way one was going to be able to transition the change from estate. So I needed to finish my estate course. Then I realized I was not a spring chicken anymore, and to go back to do land economy, that would have been 6 years, another 4 years. So I said, okay, let me take the social science because I wanted to go out with a degree. So let me take the social sciences that I was offered the first time that I turned down. At least that would reduce the years by 1 for me. So instead of 6 years, I'll do 5 years. And that's what happened. Unfortunately, in '95, the lecturers went on strike for almost 9 months, and so instead of the 5 years, I turned out to be leaving school after 6 years. So instead of 96 completion, I completed in 97. And campus Tech was something else. Tech was something else because of my maturity. Let me say it, because I was matured, I worked before. I had the senior staff clubhouse, the matron. She was the sister of one of my colleagues at Bank for Housing. So they were like family friends. And then every so often she would cook different kinds of stews, for me to put in the fridge. And then rice, kenke, gari, chicken stew, pork stew, fish stew, beef stew, mutton. You could name them. So I had quite some friends that one would always walk around with, and then we'll have meals together and have time at the Great Hall at Kill Joint. Kill Joint was our sport. Katanga, that was my 6 years in Tech. I think I didn't go there more than the fingers on my 2 hands. I was I forget the two. Yes, then I passed through. I had a friend who used to pump. Kwame Pobi Simpo. He used to pump under the bridge at Katanga. So the fathers, I'll go with him and stand under the bridge and have him finish his pumping, and then walk back to. He was in Indies, so we'll go back to Indies. But the entire cat, it was quite a rarity, But yeah.
A little bird told me you were Mr. UST when you were on campus. Can you please shed more light on that?
So, first year. Anyway, when I was in school, from secondary school, I was called Paro. Very many people did not even know my real name. My official name was Theophilus Akufu Paro. Yeah, but it was Paro that everyone knew. So went first year, Queen's Hall Week competition, Mr. UST. So we were just joking, so, this thing, one can participate, why not? And then we did. Then I think I got people who were so supportive, sponsors, a team, planning team, execution, what have you. So decided that the cultural aspect, what one were, that's the culture. I said, my auntie is a queen mother of this town. She was a queen mother. Yeah. So, yes, you could call one a royal of sort. And then, of course, Queen Hall students are royals. So let me dress as the chief. So I came down to Manfin, picked some gold ornaments from auntie. These were female gold ornaments. And then took some kente, my father's, and went to take and dress. And strangely, I won the competition. It was quite a humbling, exciting period. Unfortunately for me, instead of using enjoying that was when the rustication, the campus tension and stuff like. So I got drawn into trying to calm down the tensions on campus. To have some with some persons, to have some conversations with the CAT leadership at that time. Even though Crazy Dems were more, Crazy was more like a de facto, the whole executives and whatever, but the real power, the power brokers were behind, and then when we have a chat, how we could and bring the tensions down, because I think the CAT guys are taking issue with some behavior of some Indies guys and Africa. There's something that I discussed in my mind, but they were not enthused at all. And it's a cat for one more Kenya one didn't sound for number. So and it was cool. As I was saying, so instead of enjoying life as a Mr. UST with the social aspect, I had to be intervening in trying to make peace, on campus. And afterwards, that was it. But it was worth a while.
Regarding the 70th anniversary celebrations, what activities are you looking forward to particularly?
First of all, as we discussed earlier, the tree planting, the arboretum is something that is high on the agenda for me. Especially also it's being launched here in my community. Yes, so I'd ask the alumni, the past students, those we met, friends, to all come down and let's participate and make it worthwhile and have some fun as well. I mean, fortunately that day, I'm sure they will allow me to put down the cloth and wear some jeans and become the Paro. At least before chieftains, they should come and let's have some fun whilst we serve Mother Nature. That one, and then of course the social gathering where there's going to be, understand the socialization of all past students, some jam and any other activity that sure time will permit me to participate in, I'll gladly do. I haven't been too involved in the activities of the association, but I promise myself that from this time going, I would not hesitate at all to get engaged. And I'm also telling other past students, other alumnus, that they should also come and join in the activities of the association. Make it worthwhile. There are very many of us, those who have started it, we give them kudos. And those of us who are now latecomers should come and help carry it further to higher levels.
Since there's this newfound resolution to be more active and participate in the affairs of the alumni, can you please talk about the endowment fund, since
it's very worth the while. I would even go beyond the 70 at 70 and recommend or suggest that there are three things that we could do. Treasure, which is contributing financially towards the endowment fund, but we'd also have talent and then our time. If we put our talent and our time in addition to our treasures at the service of the association through the endowment fund, I mean, KNUST would soar higher and higher. Very many universities, world-class universities, have been what they are because of such certain endowment funds, and I'm sure it's not beyond us to do that and even overtake some of the best, because we have the men and women to do that. It's for us to reach out and get interested in the activities of the association, and to God be the glory.
So, Nana, if a young graduate was to come to you for advice on how to go about things in life, he's fresh out of school, what are the key points that you're going to give?
Patience will be one of the things. We seem to be rushing these days to reach the end, without even crawling. People want to leave school, and by the time, when they left, they have
just make it.
Made it, without. So patience, hard work, patience. It's just step by step, and then you get there. See, if you don't do that, and the storm comes, because there are storms in life, because you will not have taken your time to grow and have deep roots, the storm will just sweep you up. Take a tree, because we are doing tree planting. Your typical tree, when there's a storm, you find the leaves shaking as if the tree is going to be uprooted. But when you take your eyes off the tree and look at the stem, you find it solidly grounded. That there's no shaking, and that for me is because the tree would have taken time to grow
its roots,
its stem, enlarging, and then the leaves, So our young guys of today, we should take a second look at wanting to be there, without the necessary steps being taken for reaching there. And of course, a certain sense of integrity. In whatever you do, your A should be A, your B should be B. There's an incident that happened in tech when I was after the Mr. UST, one of the years, I was the planning committee. I just decided to offer what support I could give. And we were looking for prizes for the awards for the Mr. UST competition or so. So we had scheduled, I mean, the first prize was good to get, the second prize, this, that. The guy was supposed to give us the first prize. As that, I mean, we went, just gave up on him. So we decided to now shift the second prize to the first, so that. Then I came to Accra. I mean, we had cancelled him out of it. I came to Accra and something said that, let me try the last time, pass by this person's place. And that day, the Saturday was when we were having the contest. So I went to the guy, I spoke with him, said, I should wait, he's coming. Patience. So yes, I was there from about 9 o'clock. I had my things on my way to Kumasi. He finally saw to me around 5. And fortunately, I mean, he said, go and come. So, he gave me the full money of the price. Believe me, nobody in the planning, the committee knew about that thing. Because for them, he had not delivered, and so we moved on. So I got to school very late. The next morning, I called the hall executives and to a meeting. I said, look, you guys, this is your prize money for the first prize. And I was like, hey, Paro, where did you get it there? And I said, I went to and I was shocked because for many, that money, because it had been
forgotten
about would go into something else. But there was no way I was going to do that. My grannies, when we were growing up, used to tell us that because of the circumstances of our birth, we should always go about our things as if one draped in white. That we should try as much as possible not to have any speck of dirt touch that white, because it becomes visible for everybody to see. I like someone in dark clothing, because that one, even if you poured a gallon of dirty oil into it, nobody's going to see it. So that has been a certain guiding principle for me, that anything that I do, I should ensure that it will not bring any negativities. Of course, I'm not an angel. I can never claim to be an angel. I'm not a perfect being, but as much as possible, anything that would bring negative, I mean, future, if an audit is taken, I mean, you'll be found to be wanting, I try to avoid, and it's taking me far. People then begin to trust you and confide in you and want to give you responsibilities, which is fine.
So Nana has made some very impressive points about integrity and patience. If you've forgotten anything about this conversation, do not forget integrity and patience. So thank you, Nana, for having us today. We appreciate it, and we appreciate our viewers who are watching as well. Thank you so much for your time, and see you next time.